So now we've got the Petra being available for your questions. So Petra has many interests in life. Trading, I think, is not her major interest. So she's approaching trading in a bit of a different way. And well, she lives in London, UK, and is an ex-lawyer, and she's a fiction writer. She's writing books. So welcome, Petra.
Thank you, Gabriel. Thank you. Nice to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Let's open it up. Questions, you can type it in the chat or ask her.
Which time of day do you trade? Yeah, I read them out first. Which time of day do you trade? Because I live in London, for me, the US equities markets opens at 2:30 London time. And at the moment, I like trading after that, or just before that, around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, which is 9 o'clock ET, and I trade in the afternoon. And I trade 2 to 3 days a week. And Mondays, if I cannot do Mondays, then latest Tuesday mornings, I'll do the weekly trend scan, where I see what happened after the weekend. Why you decided to be a trader? That's a good question. Right. I decided to be a trader because I wanted to have something I can do part-time that gives me an income. So originally I planned to earn my living with trading. And the only reason why I became a trader is because 2 friends of mine said that I would be a good trader. And that's all I knew about trading. And so I came across the Van Tharp Institute, and I did the Monday sessions, and I read about, I read some books from Dr. Van Tharp, and then I came across Gabriel. And I like Gabriel very much, and so I just signed up for the future system, and I had no idea what the future is. So that's how it became. I started trading on the recommendation of 2 people and getting into Van Tharp and Gabriel. What is my preparation routine? My preparation routine is that I have to have some food in my stomach. I cannot trade on an empty stomach, which is very important for me. I need to have a quick walk. I live near a park, a little park. So I walk around, I have a 15 to half an hour walk. Then I do a meditation practice. I do breathing techniques. I do a visualization technique similar to Gabriel, but it's really purely visualization, a kind of mind movie where I imagine the Petra, the trader Petra I want to be, and I step into that trader Petra with her mindset, her attitude, how she looks, and so on. So I have my own personal mind movie. And then I do a gratitude meditation, because gratitude is my ideal mental state for trading. Acceptance level is not enough for me. I need gratitude, and I need to feel gratitude. And what I normally then do is afterwards, to kind of test myself where I am, I imagine a situation with a person I wasn't happy with, and I send this person unconditional love. And if I can do that, if I can send a person unconditional love, then I know I'm in a really good mental state. This is a kind of tester. So it's actually, for me personally, my preparation is probably an hour, including lunch, a walk, and the meditations. What I also do is sometimes, not sometimes, actually on a daily basis, but I do that early in the morning. I exercise every morning. And also I have personally a fear room meditation. I have a meditation where I go into a fear room and speak to my fear, because I need to confront a fear I have. And that's basically the charge, and I resolve the emotional charge. Sorry, this was a long-winded answer. I hope that answered it. What trading platform do you use? Ninja. I'm a clinger. I mean, I really was a novice. I had no idea. I just followed basically what Gabriel showed us. Gabriel had Ninja Trader, so I built up Ninja Trader, and my layout was exactly how Gabriel's layout was, including colors and space and everything. So yeah, that's what I use. I have set up TradingView, but I haven't used it yet. About this last answer, what make your friends say you would be a good trader? I can't remember what their exact words were, because that's about 3 years ago. But I have been into meditation and into practices that bring balance into life for about 20 years. So I've been, yeah, and I am intuitive, but also I have a thinking mind. I'm a kind of in between an F and a T, but more an F feeling type. And they said that my attitude, and one of my friends was a trader originally, and my other friend is a psychologist who is dealing with traders. And they both thought I had the right, I could develop into a trader. And then once I had I went with Dr. Van Tharp. I did the test, the Dr. Van Tharp trader test. And that was in November 20. And on that basis, I decided, okay, I will definitely sign up. And I did the Peak 101 home study course. If I speak too long, please tell me, Gabriel, if my answers are too long. No, I'm not trading Forex. I'm only trading futures. What do you recommend for us to get the most out of the course? What I did, what was for me to get out of the course is ask questions if you have a question. As you can see, Gabriel answers questions. And the revision. After the course, before boot camp, which will start in November, I revised the whole course twice. And also we get the video recordings. And I watched every video recording of all the days recorded twice, and I took notes. And what helped me, for example, as a novice, not being familiar at all with any trading software or with Forex Tester, I watched the videos when Gabriel simulated, and I took notes of what kind of tools he used and so on, so that it was before we went into boot camp, I had already the tools written down on a piece of paper. So I have revision, and trying to relax. Maybe start already with some meditation practice. Even if it's not 20 minutes, maybe 12 minutes, what Claudia recommended, which is great. Some form of meditation practice that you are in a more relaxed state of mind going forward, because that for me, it's very important that we are relaxed, that we're not pushing. how important is your inner guidance in your success, and what beliefs are most important for you in being constantly profitable? Well, my inner guidance is hugely important for me because I am an intuitive type. I'm in the Enneagram type 4 with a wing 3, and the type 4 is the individualist or the artist, and they are intuitive people. So it is hugely important, and my mental state or my practice to get me into a good mental state is basically based on that I find stillness, and that I find stillness and find my inner core. And because I can only create when from a still place, and creating as in listening to my subconscious that is coming through. If I am in a chaotic state or in a pushy state, my intuition cannot come through. I can't hear it. So that is actually, I think, for also for Claudio, I know that intuition is, we're trading following our intuition. Also, of course, we're following the process. We are process orientated. We're following the rules, but we follow our intuition. Yeah. What beliefs are most important for you in being consistently profitable? Yes, I have developed actually some useful beliefs, which I have incorporated. For example, one is high quality makes me feel good. High quality traits make me feel good, no matter how many there are per week, 0, 1, or 10. Another belief for me is, if something happens I don't like, it has a reason for something better to come. Another one is, I only trade to reach weekly target. I don't trade for any other reason. This is just some examples. Is that enough? Did that answer the questions? Or yeah, I think in the end, what happens is that as we go along, and we are all different people, we all have different psychological profiles. We have to find out where our non-useful beliefs are that stop us from being consistent traders. And these are different for each of us. I have, for example, a clutter of beliefs around safety and security, which, Gabriel pointed out to me. I didn't realize that, and I worked a lot on that. For example, hence the belief I feel safe with high quality, because that's very important for me. Also, that I do not trade for any other reason than reaching weekly target. That's also secure. That makes me secure. I don't trade for excitement or because I'm bored. And we have to figure out over the course of our development over the year, where are our non-useful beliefs and how to take the charge of and turn them around, find some useful beliefs, develop some useful beliefs that get us to the path of consistency. And that is an individual process. Right. If you trade on seconds charts, then you must take profit early. So the profit must be too small and trades too frequent. On the other hand, I heard you take only a couple of trades a day. Can you comment on this? Right. I have a hard rule now. I take 50% profits as of 2R to bank in 1R. That comes back again to, for example, my feeling of safety and security. So I bank in 1R, or I take full profit. I don't necessarily take a couple of trades a day. I take maybe a couple of trades a week, because I only my weekly target of 2R, that's what I'm aiming for. If I've gone for 2R, I stop trading for the week. So if I have my first trade on a Monday, or not on a Monday, on a Tuesday with 2R, then that's it. I don't trade for the rest of the week. And I only focus on high quality. That means not only high quality pattern, but also a setup with a high probability. I do not often go for what we call make or break trades, where you have, I want to have a higher probability. I changed that in March 22, during the LMP. And so I have actually very few trades. If I do not see a high probability trade, I do not enter a trade. What I also developed is I have developed intuition. I move my stop loss quicker to half risk. So yeah, I hope that answered that question. Yeah, I have a very individual trading game in the sense that I'm trading is only part of my working life. I very much like trading psychology and trading development. I also write and I do other things. So for me, it is very important that I have something else that is at least as important as trading, for not to push for reaching target. Because I'm not only a type 4 Enneagram, I'm also a wing 3. I'm an achiever. And so at the beginning, until mid LMP, I was really pushing. So I have to make sure that I have other things in my life that are so important. I'm happy. I don't, and that's also the reason why I have the gratitude or the grateful meditation every day, because it's important for me to come from a place of abundance and not from a place of lack. If I come from a place of lack, I risk pushing, entering trades that do not have high quality, that do not have a high probability. Yeah. I hope that is answer that question. Starting as a novice, what was your biggest challenge in the beginning? On what topic did you put your focus at first? Right, my biggest challenge in the beginning was with the course systems. That was obviously, I've never looked at a trading system. So I put my focus at the beginning at revising after the workshop, so that I knew the rules. I studied very much the screenshots. I studied the screenshots over and over and over again, and I continue doing that in boot camp. I visualized setups, and I revised before every simulation, before every trading session. I revised the rules, and I looked at setups to remind me what am I looking for. So yeah, so that's the pattern recognition. How long did it take you to become consistent with trading? Minimal trading mistakes. What were the things you did that had the biggest impact in becoming consistent? Right. I become consistent 1 year after I started the course. That means it started in September 21, sorry. I started in September 21, and in October 22, I became consistent 1 year, 12 months later. What were the things you did that had the biggest impact in becoming consistent? Well, I did actually there were a lot of things. I mean, that is the whole trader development process. So the biggest impact was revision. I revised all the time. I revised the workshop, after the workshop. After boot camp, I revised in the break the whole boot camp. I did all the simulations again, and the trades, not only my trades but of other people. So it was a lot of revision. there. Then what the next turning point was in NLP, where I was really, really pushing and I had many losses, and that really impacted my mental state. I completely stepped back and slowed down, and I focused on high quality and taking very few trades. And with trades not in overall sideways that have a lower win rate. So I had basically trending charts in trending environment where out of overall sideways and very, very few trades. And I started to work on beliefs, on my beliefs cluster with on security, on safety mainly. There were quite a lot of beliefs. For example, one of my beliefs was I feel only I feel only safe with success, which is completely counterproductive of trading, because we feel good with following the process because it is a probability game. So I very much heavily worked on mental state. And then I also worked on my trading game. That for me, 2R, I don't need 2R. I'm very happy with 2R or 5R per month. And then in what really changed also my game was Gabriel told me during LMP to start taking partial profits. And I was still so much pushing and into FOMO, the country, that I only really started taking partial profits in October. And as soon as I started taking partial profits, I reached consistency. But it took me half a year from LMP into autumn, working on my mental state, on my on beliefs, to be able to take partial profit. That's how much we can push, how much FOMO can come in. Is Peak One Home Study the same as Peak Performance Home Study? Yes, that's the same. Yeah, Peak 101 Home Study is the Peak Performance one. Yeah, and I did that before I started Gabriel's course. Yeah. To stop at how do you have FOMO? Yeah, FOMO. I thought maybe FOMO was a really, really big subject for me. I FOMO'd badly during boot camp. And that's when I actually realized already during boot camp that the mental state is hugely important. Having said that, we must realize we cannot do everything at the same time. So boot camp, for example, is about learning how to flawlessly execute, how to recognize pattern, a higher time frame analysis. So I still FOMO'd a lot when I came into demo live trading because I had a setback. And so what happened is that I took so many trades, and I had really great trades. I mean, I built pyramids that had really big R winners, but I had also a lot of losing trades. And in mid LMP, my mental state was really, really not good. So what happened then, this was actually my first big turning point. I didn't understand what overall side trades were, and I didn't understand what trades meant with lower win rate and how they impacted my mental state. So I stopped trading. I looked at all my trades over a weekend. What trades triggered a loss? Is there any similarity? Have some trades something in common? And I found a pattern, and I decided I'm not taking these trades anymore. I also did parts negotiations. I negotiated with parts. I have, for example, the little Petra part who wants to play all the time, who wants to push the buttons and one buttons after the other. I did trade negotiations. I looked at trades. I literally decided not to take certain trades. I cut out for the time being the second charts. I only focused on 1 minute and higher because the 15-second charts triggered FOMO. So I started working on beliefs. It was actually it took me a good 6 months, and I had it then in grip, but it was an ongoing process. It took me 6 months. It took but we are all on a different timeline. You know, some people maybe handle FOMO earlier. Somebody like, oh yeah, and what I then on, this is also very important, is I started during LMP, which I didn't do before. I never ever did any simulations or any demo trading without my trading preparation. I never missed my trading preparation. I didn't do just jump into a trade. And what I also did, for example, I had to set up, I moved my screen and my trading, my laptop with where my Ninja platform is, I moved it out of the room. So whenever I wanted to do a simulation or when I traded, I had to build up the whole desk. And so that I'm not just going, oh, let's have a quick look what the markets are doing. That's not working, a quick look. So I made it a whole process. Okay, I'm setting this up, I'm doing my preparation, doing step by step. And I had put a note down, and I had a tick list what I have to do before I actually started opening Ninja. But this was a long process, yeah. With all respect, does a high quality trade still make you feel good, even if it's double money? Yes, because I'm focused on process. This is what I've learned with Gabriel and with the group over these 2 years. The process is my value. I do not, when I started, I equated my value with outcome of the trade. Now I equate my value with the process. And the process, for example, my value can be very small, a very small act. For example, I did my gratitude meditation. Yes, I added value. So even if it's a -1 hour, I look at it, I feel happy, that's fine. And also, for example, if I enter a high quality trade, I need to feel a flow. If with hindsight, I didn't feel, I'm not in a flow state, I'm not in a peaceful state, then I knew I made a mistake. And I'm not unhappy about that. What I do is I make a note and saying, I didn't take the trade when was in a good mental state. I made a mistake. Now I learn from it and not make it again. So I make a note, and that's it. One trader said, Wojtek always said, a mistake is never really a mistake, because we always learn from it. There's always something positive in every mistake. And that makes me feel good. How so you handle losses mentally? Right. I have a certain trading game. It's a little bit different. For example, if I have 2 consecutive -1, I have 2 losses, -2R, I stop for the day. And I stop by -3R, I stop for the week. And then then I would have a break. I wouldn't trade the following week. Though we do say every week is different, and every week is new, but I normally then have a break, and then I have to see, okay, why did that happen? Did I choose lower quality? Was it just was I not in a good mental place? I need to analyze. But I step back and I slow down, and I only go back to the trading desk when I feel, after a trading preparation, I'm in my grateful state, I am calm. As long as cannot go back, I will not go back to the trading screen, if it takes 1 day, a week, or a month. That's very important for me. That's actually a really good point. I think with trading, what is really important is what we're learning with Gabriel's process is constant awareness. I have to be constantly aware, where am I, before, during, and after a trade. When I, for example, exited a trade and I feel euphoric or I feel happy, of course, it makes me feel better if I have, if I have a nice trade, but I feel happy. If I feel overexcited, I have to walk away because that is not a good mental state to continue trading. So we learn to bring us down to a calm and confident level that allows us to see where we are in a given moment, to be present, to be always present, because that's what we need for trading. We need to be in the present. We need to see what is. We cannot, the market is just there. If we start reading stuff into the market or into the chart, we are not present anymore. And we can only be present if we are calm. Can only handle a loss. For example, that's actually a good question. That's why acceptance is not a good mental state for me. Why I need gratitude, because when I'm in gratitude, I shift my focus from lack to abundance. So I'm already coming from abundant state. I have everything I need. Even if a trade triggers a loss, I'm still have an abundance attitude, while in an acceptance state, that is not enough for me. With abundance, I can say I did the best I could. And it was just one of the losing bag. What percentage of the portfolio you would recommend to allocate for trading? Well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Only I can say is that you take 1% of your trading account. That's the maximum at risk. But I don't have a portfolio as in bonds or real estate or anything like that. Maybe Gabriel can answer that question, but I cannot answer that question. I can only talk about maximum 1% risk on a trade of your capital. Sorry, Vincent. What is LMP? LMP is Live Market Pro. That comes actually much further down the road. That comes after boot camp, and that is where you actually transfer what we learn in boot camp in a simulation process into the live market. This is where you actually trade the demo account, the live market, with a 9-chart layout, with a 4-chart layout, and you learn basically to flawlessly execute the systems. You work on your mental state, on your trading game, and you work on consistency. What does high quality for a trade setup mean to you? What are the most important criteria you are looking for? Maybe you added details to for me, what is high quality is if the mid frame or the high frame is not in overall sideways. That means if even price is in high frame when the consolidation is above a prior high. Let's say if a long trade above a prior high. If in the high frame, it's very technical now, if the high frame, we have a nice trend, but the trend is in the high frame below a prior high in a long trade, that is still an overall sideways. That's for me a trade setup I don't like. I take overall sideways in the high frame. For me, high quality is also, for example, look in the high frame. I measure for example, the entry in the low frame. Is there a stop run level, for example, in the high frame or in a high frame that would reach the 2R level in the low frame? That would make, for example, a higher quality that in the low frame, the trade would reach 2R easier. Another higher quality criteria is, for example, if the 1.2R is within, below, or at consolidation high. What is also nice for me is more base touches, but that's just an example. That will all come in time. That will come in time, and I think everybody has different criteria. You develop according to your personal training style. Why do I like the turtle pattern the most? I think because the turtle pattern is quite harmonious. It is not quite, it is harmonious. It is an harmonious shape. And I personally like harmony. I like harmony. And nowadays I trade both. I trade S1 and S2. I just really like the S2 shape. It's for me, it's pretty. And it's very balanced. And I'm personally, I love balance. Balance is very important in my life, like in everything in my life, like work, play, relationship, my work. I'm so like that. But I trade both. I trade equally S1 and S2. Maybe, and on another reason is maybe because I had quite difficulties with the turtle pattern. I only really understood the turtle mid LM, beginning of LMP, mid LMP, before I made always mistakes. So I spent more time with the turtle pattern. Maybe that's also why I like it more. But it's just I see it. I see it straight away. How do you get going again after having a week-long break after losses? Yeah, I revise. For example, during LMP until the end of LMP, I started always the week with simulations, with trading the bootcamp simulations. Now I look at my past trades because we do trade logs. It's very, very important to record trades. That will be extremely important for you, not only to measure your progress, but also to see the mistakes, you repeat mistakes, but that comes later. And so I go back and look at my trade logs. I look at my mistake list. I remind myself, what are my weaknesses. I remind myself what are my strengths, what are my preferred setups. I do revision. And maybe I forgot to say this, very important. I think for me personally, the most important for trading well is that I'm relaxed. And I can only be relaxed if I soften. So that's, for example, also very important for me is the gratitude meditation, because I need to feel my heart soften, my whole body soften, especially my heart, because intuition comes from the heart center. And if I can't soften, if I can't take deep breaths, then I know I'm still pushing. It's very important for me to be really relaxed. You mentioned you stop for the day if you make 2 continuous losses, and for the week if you make 3 losses. No, if I have 3 losses during the week, -3 are during the week, not necessarily in a row. On the other hand, why you think you should not continue trading when you make continuous profits? What is the danger there? I don't see a danger. It's just my personal trading game, because I have other things in my life that are equally important. And for me, consistency is for me the most important, and it also makes me feel safe. Consistency, when I feel consistency, it has a huge mental impact on me. It relaxes me, it makes me feel safe, and I don't see why I don't need to go back in. I'm very happy with that. I can do my other things. I have time for writing. I have time for psychology. I'm very happy with that. There are other traders who continue trading, and that is something, the personal trading game, I think, is very much linked to your beliefs. And I'm very, very happy with that. And it's as simple as that. You're a fantastic model. Oh, that's very kind. Oh, it was very kind. Thank you. You should have seen me at the beginning truck. I was really not disciplined. I was very pushing. I took a lot of low quality trades, and if I can do it, you can do it. Just follow Gable's process. Follow Gable's process, and what I have to say is that I think it is extremely important. I mean, that's the whole process. Not I think it is extremely important to make mistakes, to learn, where our weaknesses are, and I also strongly believe that we have to take both. We have good traits and bad traits. We have to get a feel. We have to get a feel for patterns. We have to get a feel for setups. We only get a feel for it with experience, by experiencing good traits and bad traits, and we have to give it room to develop. So even if it takes 2 years, if it takes 2 months or 2 years, it doesn't matter. It takes however long it takes. And the more experience we gain, the more we flawlessly execute, then the intuition comes. And discipline, that is actually for me the biggest surprise that happened for me through learning to trade, is that I learned emotional discipline. Because before I started to trade, I didn't realize what an emotional roller coaster I was, despite my age. And in trading, I really realized how much I was at the whim of my emotions, and that to control my emotional reactivity, to be disciplined, has completely changed my life and the life around me, the people around me. I completely react differently. That is, but I've only learned that through trading. That is the biggest surprise for me. It's really amazing. Where was my Petra? Off topic. Do you experience writer's block? If so, how do you deal with it? Have you published your fiction work? If so, which distribution publishing channels do you decide to use? Okay. Yes, I do experience writer's block, and I have developed tools. I have developed some tools that have nothing to do with the trading tools, that are different tools that are specific for writer's block. But one of the tools, for example, but there are some tools, for example, I use gratitude for writer's block. Because when I use gratitude, it doesn't matter if I write, for example, 1 sentence a day or even 1 word. It doesn't really matter. So I keep going. But I have other tools for that. And I deal with it. For example, before I write 15 minutes nonstop. That's actually something I also did. I also do every day before. That's actually also part of my trading preparation process, because if you write 10 or 15 minutes nonstop without any punctuation marks, without stopping at all, after 10 minutes, your subconscious is kicking in, and you actually see where your subconscious is. You free your subconscious and you see your thoughts, where you actually are in that moment. It's actually quite interesting. But that's a really different topic. And I have actually published, I was a journalist. So I've published a lot of journalism, and I have published a couple of short stories, and I'm working now on a novel. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you.
Hey, thanks a lot. It was very nice. Very good flowing questions.
Thank you very much for your interest.